we are going to give you four of the most amazing of God's creation, which we believe proves God is real. For those of you that are kind of on the fence, whether you're not really sure about God, we are going to give you an argument that we believe proves that there is an intelligent creator behind this whole earth and everything that's going on within it. So let's just jump right in. So starting with number 4, and we're going to go to number 1. Number 4 is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It is the earth.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks, oh, the earth, no big deal. It just spins on its axis, yay.
Which in itself is amazing.
Which is amazing
right?
in itself.
Yeah.
But the fact of what amazes me the most is not that it spins on its axis at a tilt, which is just so amazing anyways, but the fact is it is perfectly placed and holds in perfect rotation. And what I mean perfect place is that if we were to move just closer to the sun a little bit, the earth would burn up.
Yeah,
it would have.
We're talking 1 to 2%. I mean, it's such a minor difference.
Yeah, we would burn up.
Yeah.
And then the reverse is if we were to move away from the sun, we would start to freeze.
Yeah.
Another amazing fact about the earth is it maintains a perfect oxygen level. And I mean, you could get into the trees and the diatoms. And I mean, you would think, logically that oxygen, might be a little bit low sometimes. Right. It might be a little high sometimes. Right. But the earth, or God, really, maintains a perfect oxygen level. And why this is important is if we started to lean towards too much oxygen, fires would start to happen because there would be more oxygen and fires feed off oxygen. So the earth essentially would start to burn up.
Right.
And the reverse is if we got less oxygen on the earth, plants, and we would start to die.
Things are going to die.
We would start to die.
I want to read this quote. It's from author Eric Metaxas. And he says, today, there are more than 200 known parameters necessary for a planet to support life, every single one of which must be perfectly met.
Perfectly.
Or the whole thing falls apart. All right, we're going to move on to number 3. Don't laugh.
I love this one.
What's so funny about this one is I remember this animal from when I was in like 6th grade.
Were you really?
And I used to make little clay molds of this animal. It's the platypus.
Yeah.
And what's so amazing, besides the fact that he has a big fat bill, is that he's a mammal.
Right.
And he lays eggs. So instead of giving birth,
which a mammal should.
Right. Give birth.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But he lays eggs.
That's all messed up.
I mean,
it's like you're looking at it
like God went watch this, right?
You see God, he's like, okay, Jesus, let's throw him off, okay?
Right.
Let's create a mammal, okay? No, wait a minute, and let's put a duck bill on him, okay? And then Jesus, okay, if that's not enough, let's make it lay eggs.
Right.
Take that, Darwin.
Yeah, no kidding.
Number 2 is Lamolin. And this was big. It came on the scene about maybe 10, 15 years ago, where I don't know if they discovered a thing.
They just kind of put 2 and 2 together with
this. Okay. So Lamolin, and let me read this because I'm not a scientist, okay? So Lamolin is a glycoprotein that is a molecule that measures about 12 nanometers in size. Okay, so this is small. Yeah. Now you might be saying, okay, big deal, right. It's a molecule. What is the big deal with Lamolin? Well, Lamolin plays a vital role in our cellular makeup. And the one purpose of this Lamolin is it holds everything together.
Yeah.
Now, you might be saying to me, big deal. It's a molecule,
Right.
right?
Right.
The fascinating thing about this, it's in the shape of
A cross.
a cross.
Yeah.
And there is a verse in Colossians that totally connects with this, and you read it.
So this is Colossians 1:17. He is before all things, and in him all things hold together.
Right. Christ's purpose is he holds all things together, and the purpose of this molecule is to hold cells together, right?
I'm thinking of like the Terminator or somebody where they just melt. It would be like that, right?
Yeah,
like our bodies would just go bleh.
Okay, bringing the Terminator
Right?
into our little video. That's
Well, why
great.
not? All right, number 1. This is really cool. So the human eye, which is just amazing anyways.
Right.
But it says that the human eye has more than 7 million cones and 100 million rods that take in the light and help us to send the messages to our brain. And then what else is interesting, and this really astounded me, is that scientists cannot figure out why we cry. Like,
Oh, really?
What happens?
Really?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they don't know.
They don't know why the water works. I mean, they understand the emotion part of it. Yeah, you get hurt, but they don't understand why the eye produces tears.
Do they understand the emotion, what triggers crying?
They know what triggers it, but they don't know why water comes out.
Huh.
It is amazing. Well, it's amazing because you think about the tears are so important to God.
Yeah.
Because he even says in scripture, doesn't he, where he says he collects each of our tears. I mean, they're so important to him.
Does it? Okay, that's a verse.
Does it kind of?
Okay, so I was questioning whether there was a verse that Jesus collect all the tears, and I thought it was going to be, this is the KJV, Kim's James version of the Bible. But I was wrong. There really is a verse.
Well, we're talking about butterflies and rainbows.
Okay,
right?
go for it. Give him the verse. I stand corrected.
This is Psalm 56:8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears.
That's nice.
In your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book.
That's nice. I stand
corrected.
You are good, girl. Let's hear it for Kim.
All right. One other thing about the eye.
Tell me. I'm just fascinated. My eye is looking at you.
Okay. So your iris,
right,
which is your colored part.
Okay.
Your iris has more than 256 unique characteristics, which is similar to your fingerprint.
Oh,
so out of the over 8 billion people on this earth, your fingerprint and your iris are...
Really? So there's no two alike?
There are no two alike.
So that would explain...
Think about the possibilities of that to happen.
Yeah. But I was just going to say that would explain why iris scans are so accurate.
Right.
Is because there's no two irises alike.
Right.
That is amazing.
That's amazing.
Wow.
Tell me God's not real.
Tell me God's not real.
Tell me right now.
Tell me God is good. Whenever we do one of these videos, it brings out doubters, atheists, haters, people that just don't believe there's a God. And let me give you, so if you can't, wrap your mind around a God, a monotheistic God, I think scientists and we would all have to agree that there is an intelligent designer, an intelligent creator behind all of this, the human body, the earth, the planets, the stars. I mean, when you start to kind of, get out of your little bubble and get into the world and see how everything is just so perfectly perfect.
Yeah.
You have to, it would almost be illogical for someone to say, there's not something behind this that's doing this.
Yeah.
And let me give you a really good example or an argument. Take a beautiful Rolls Royce. I mean, leather seats, wood, amazing stereo, the shape of it, the paint job. I mean, just a gorgeous car, right? When you look, at this car, you would say that there's an intelligent person, intelligent creator that designed this car, that spent hours and hours of creating it, drawing it, and then building it. I mean, a big wind that blew through an auto parts store that just happened to form this car would be absolutely illogical,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Another example is you take like a Rolex watch. And I mean, if you looked at some of these insides of these watches, there are so many little tiny gears and they're all clicking in unison. And you look at them and go, oh my goodness, that's just insane how this works.
Yeah.
When you look at that watch, you say to yourself, there's a creator behind this watch. There's a watchsmith, an intelligent designer that delicately put all these little pieces together and they work perfectly.
Right.
A big wind didn't blow through some hardware store with a bunch of gears and little rods and just randomly put this watch together.
Yeah.
That would be absolutely illogical. So then you take something like the earth and the human body, which is 100 times, I mean, not even that, more complicated than the Rolls Royce and this Rolex watch. It would be illogical to say that there isn't something that designed us.
Right.
I mean, do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, it didn't evolve.
Right, a big
Have
blob
to-
came together and all these
Yeah.
millions of things came and formed an eyeball, and then it connects the brain with all the nerves. I mean, then it goes to the nerves of the body. I mean,
Yeah.
the body's just amazing.
Yeah.
So we would like to know your comments, and if you're a doubter, we would like to know why.
Yeah.
I mean, or give me an argument. Why not? But as a Christian, if you're watching this, you just have to marvel in God's creation. And I think sometimes we get so wrapped up into our world and
Yeah.
social media. Take a break and just put the phone down, stop watching TV, and just marvel. I mean, like last night, I went outside. My job is to take out the trash. So last night I was taking out the trash, and it was just crisp. It was a clear sky. And I look up, and planets fascinate me. And I see a bright star,
Yeah.
something brighter than the rest of the things.
Right.
And I got to say, that's a planet.
Right.
And then I started thinking, how many years of light years is this
Away.
away? And,
Right.
and what I'm seeing is light years of light that's from me.
Yeah.
And I'm just going, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
God is so amazing.
You have to take that time
You really
in your
do.
life to really notice things around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop and look at the planets. Or roses, right? Smell the roses. Right?
Stop and smell the
Yeah.
roses. That's what my father-in-law always said.
Did he?
Stop and smell the
A
roses.
silver fox.
It's silver fox. So this is an interesting quote from Lee Strobel in The Case of Christ.
Now,
which
Lee
is-
Strobel, if you give a background, Lee Strobel was an atheist.
Yeah, big
And-
time. I
Big
think.
time. And he worked for the Chicago Suns
Mhm.
Times, I believe,
Mhm.
a big journalistic newspaper. He set out on a mission to prove God was wrong. And why he did this is his wife came to know Jesus.
She became
And it
Christian.
just irritated him so much that he set out on a mission and said, I am going to prove that Jesus doesn't exist.
Yeah,
And in his journey, and this is a smart guy,
Yeah.
atheist, smart guy, talked to many, many, many atheists, doctors, scientists. He came up with the overwhelming proof that that Jesus was real.
Yep.
So anyways, you got to have a little
And that's
background.
called
on
The
who-
Case for Christ.
Right, you have to have background on who Lee Strobel was.
So he has another one also that's Case for a Creator.
Yeah, oh, does he?
And in that book he wrote, you've seen it.
Oh,
In
yeah.
that book he wrote, science done right points toward God.
Yeah.
So I mean, even scientists just can't.
They just don't want to
There's so
admit.
many things, and all of these facts that we even stated, scientists cannot prove any other. I mean, they
It all
agreed
points. Right.
that there is an intelligent designer.
Right. If you're logical
Yeah.
and not just saying no just to say no, but if you're going with
Right.
open mind, it points to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Kim.
All right. So we hope you enjoyed that video.
I did.
That's good.
As long as I enjoyed it, that's what counts.
I'm glad you joined us.
You're welcome.
All right, so we hope to see you guys in the next video. Remember to comment down below. We love to hear from you. Bye.